Hello, welcome to Todd Miller TV. I got asked a question through YouTube that somebody was wondering about buying investment properties that already have tenants in them. So, as you're probably aware, there's two ways you can buy a property. You can buy it vacant or you can buy it occupied. If you buy it vacant and it's an investment property, you either have to flip it or you have to put a tenant in it to make money. But if it's already occupied, that's sort of a benefit. And somebody had asked, like, what are the nuances and what do I have to do? So I did a quick search in the MLS and I found out that there are 2,724 properties, which is quite a few that are actually, they have a tenant in them. And the great thing about these are that the tenant already has a lease. So when you buy the property, you have a tenant in place. So that means on day one, you close, you get prorated rent for the rest of that month, and then you start collecting rent right away. You don't have any vacancy. What a lot of investors are doing is they're buying at the trustee sale or they're buying a vacant REO and renting it out. And they have a month or so of vacancy while their agent is getting it ready and getting it marketed. So I want to let you know there are 2,724 houses. I pulled up two of them. Just the first two that came up, I pulled them up, and I wanted to give you just a general idea. So this one house is $35,000. It's a 1,000 square foot house with 3 bedrooms, and it's tenant occupied. $650 a month is the current lease amount. It doesn't say in here how long the lease goes, but that's something you would find out during your due diligence. So through $35,000, $650 a month, and then there was another one in here. It's listed for $39,900. And it's $700 a month rent, and it's already occupied. It even goes into detail to say that the lease goes until March of 2012. So it's leased out till then. Okay, so how does that work? Okay, so a couple nuances. One is, if you buy a property tenant occupied, they have a lease, that lease is going to run with the property, which means you have to honor the lease. If you're going to live in it, you're going to have to wait till the tenant's lease is up. He has a valid lease, even though there's a new owner, because your contract with the buyer and everything is probably going to be predicated on allowing that tenant to remain in the lease. Now, you do have an opportunity. The opportunity is to go directly to the tenant and say, hey, look, I'm buying the house. I know you have a current lease. I would like to renegotiate the lease. I'll honor the current one, or we can come up with new terms. So you can basically give them the opportunity to extend the lease, pay a different amount, whatever. Or you can do nothing. You can let the lease stand, go month to month. What happens is, let's say that they put $1,000 of security deposit down. That money is going to get transferred. If it was owner-occupied, or if it was an owner-manager, it'll get transferred to the new owner to hold that money, or to a property management company. If it's already a property management company, you probably don't have to do anything, because that existing property manager will just start sending the checks to you, and that works out pretty sweet. If it's not being managed, you can hire a property manager, and they'll just take care of all that for you, especially if you're an out-of-state investor. So really, there's nothing more to do. This is sort of like the quickest way to mailbox money. If you're out of state, you buy the property, you close on it, and the checks just start like almost right away. So it's a pretty sweet deal. But we do have over 2,700 of them, tenant-occupied investment homes, currently rented. So there's lower risk with not having a tenant in there, and typically they've been in there for a while. And that's something you can find out during the due diligence. You get an idea of how long they've been, how current their rents have been, and everything, to get a feel if that's a good tenant. Especially these numbers here: a $35,000 house getting $650 a month, no HOA. Even if you're paying property management fees, insurance, and taxes, you're still going to net probably $550 a month, and that's pretty. Even $500 a month on a $35,000 investment, that's way over 10%, about 15%. So it's pretty nice. Anyway, I thought that I would share that with you, and that is my update for today. Thanks a lot.